Okay, so you've sent in some fascinating stuff about the Franklin, Tennessee real estate scene. Looks like you're wrestling with the age-old question, is now the right time to sell? Let's dive into this material, see what it's saying, and pull out those insights that can help you make the best possible decision.
You got it. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of homeowners in Franklin are asking themselves the same thing right now.
Yeah.
Sell now or hold on. Makes sense.
That's
Our market's always shifting, right?
exactly. So before we even get into that decision, let's back up a bit. Your research paints a pretty compelling picture of Franklin, right? We're talking top-rated schools in Williamson County, a charming historic downtown area, but also like modern amenities, right?
Yeah.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, Franklin's got it going on. All that contributes to a really strong base level of desirability. So even when you layer on those more volatile things like current home prices and inventory and, oh, everyone's favorite interest rates,
You still have that solid foundation. This brings us to what one source calls the seller's dilemma. It's that moment when you have to choose, cash in on the current demand in those sought-after neighborhoods. Westhaven, Fieldstone Farms, McKay's Mill, or wait and see what the future holds.
the $1 million question.
Hmm?
And that's where a deep understanding of the market, not just what's happened, but what's brewing, can make all the difference.
I noticed something interesting in your research. There's a lot of buzz around a Franklin agent named Marc. Now, he's not just an agent, he's a nationally recognized real estate coach. That suggests a level of expertise that goes, well, beyond the average realtor.
For sure, and that's key. Because as a coach, he's probably seeing trends emerge on a wider scale, national stuff, that maybe hasn't even hit Franklin yet. He's thinking ahead.
Speaking of thinking ahead, the material highlights his expertise in certain areas. He seems to have this hyper-local knowledge of neighborhoods like Ladd Park, Cool Springs, Leipers Fork. He understands the nuances of what buyers in those specific pockets of Franklin are looking for.
It's those micro-market dynamics that can make or break a deal. Knowing, say, that buyers in Leipers Fork are drawn to different things than those in Cool Springs, that kind of knowledge lets you target your strategy much more effectively. Pricing, marketing, the whole 9 yards.
Then there's his focus on data-driven pricing, not just looking at what the house down the street sold for last month, but using both national and local market data to really pinpoint that optimal price range that's going to attract offers and get your listing noticed.
Taking the emotion out of it, right? That's smart. You're using data to position the property strategically within the current market conditions.
The material also emphasizes his approach to personalized guidance. Working with individual sellers, understanding their goals, their timeline, having those honest conversations without any pressure. Which, let's face it, selling a home is a huge decision, so that approach can make a big difference.
Absolutely. A good agent recognizes that it's not just a transaction, it's a life event.
And speaking of appealing to buyers, there's this emphasis on high-impact marketing, professional staging, photography, digital campaigns. In today's market, that online presence is crucial. It's often a buyer's first impression.
Couldn't agree more. So many buyers start their search online, so those visuals, those targeted digital strategies, they're not just a nice to have anymore, they're essential.
So let's bring it back to the big question. Sell now or wait? The research you sent in seems to point to some advantages of selling now, particularly in Franklin. There's that strong buyer demand, especially in those desirable areas, maybe limited inventory in certain parts of Williamson County, which could give sellers an edge. And then there's the potential for interest rate hikes.
All valid points. That balance between supply and demand is huge. When you have more buyers than sellers, that can tip the scales in favor of those looking to sell. And yeah, the possibility of rising interest rates, that often motivates buyers to act sooner rather than later.
But it also acknowledges that the right time is really a matter of personal circumstances, right? Relocating, downsizing, needing more space, or just exploring options, whatever your situation is. It sounds like having informed guidance can be valuable no matter what.
You hit the nail on the head. No cookie-cutter answers in real estate, right? What this really underscores is the value of having an expert in your corner, someone who can help you navigate those current market realities and achieve your specific goals.
To sum it up then, the key to navigating the Franklin real estate market right now is understanding both the overall climate, leveraging that expert local knowledge to make the most informed choice.
Precisely. And for those of you in Franklin thinking about selling, maybe a little unsure, this research really highlights how important it is to gain that clear understanding of the market and your options.
And if you're in Franklin and this has sparked some thoughts, the material we've gone through actually points you to a resource that could be really helpful. It suggests connecting with Mark at 512-587-1404 or checking out franklinhomeguide.com. You can have a consultation, discuss your own unique situation, explore what's possible.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Given how much the market can change, what are those one or two factors that are going to be the deciding ones for you when it comes to selling your home in Franklin?
Something to ponder for sure.